All right, just waiting for Maloney to come in here, and then we will get started. There she is. Go live.
Yay! Okay, now I've got to like fix this camera situation. I had the camera great, and then now here we're at. Okay, this is what we're doing.
I
This is
so
where
I
we're
got one of
going.
these little stand things from Target. I'll show you what I got when we're done.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Yay. Okay, so I pulled up all the charts.
Okay.
Where do you want to start?
I think we should start with just level setting on what squares and oppositions are, because that is what we are here to talk about, and then maybe go into like how many there are in this Sagittarius season. So that's why we even are taking the time to really pay attention to this, because there's just a few. There's just a few.
I was looking over everything and I was like, I think this is a lot. You're like, yeah, Sag season's a lot. And I'm like, oh yeah. Okay. Deal. You're right. You're not wrong.
Not wrong. So yeah, you want to let's start with squares. And level setting with what squares are.
Yeah, so as we start to kind of dive deeper into astrology with you guys, there's different types of aspects that planets make. So conjunctions are when the planets are right on top of each other, literally the same degree point, or an orb that that kind of like goes a little bit beyond the planet. So say if we're at 22 degrees, then the other planet would also be at 22 degrees, or maybe 20 to 24. Like, let's just say that, okay? So as we think about squares, we're just I'm not gonna confuse you any more than that. I'm just gonna go to squares. Squares and oppositions are typically challenges. This is where you might find some challenging energy in your chart. And how I'm all about practical application. I know you are as well. This is why we drive. But I like to think of squares as you bending the corner, not being able to see everything, and making your assessments, judgments, whatever that verb, adjective, adverb, whatever is.
I don't grammar, so we're great. That's not for me to come in on.
Right. And you have you don't have the whole picture. You're like looking at it and you're making your assessments and you're gathering your own information from the corners. So you don't have the full visual. And it's typically challenges because like it's felt, it's not necessarily fully seen. It's pressure, but we think about squares as well. That is a balancing energy. It's, four corners, it's foundational. So it's actually requiring you to look at this energy. It's drawing your attention here. Hey, I need to be looking. It's like kind of like, someone's looking at you, and you kind of turn around and you see, and you're like, oh, hi, right? So an opposition, and please let me know however you kind of go into this, but an opposition is directly opposing. So literally 19 degrees of, it's the axis points of the zodiac. So if we're at 19 degrees of Aquarius, you're at 19 degrees of Leo. And so that is, I can fully see you. I can see exactly what you're doing. And you're making this full assessment. It's either I like it, I don't like it, and something has to change from here. And there's likely major changes that are going to be happening, because an opposition is you can't avoid it. You can't not see it. It's like your mom caught you red-handed with your hands in the cookie drawer, and you're like, what are you going to say?
And literally saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you do that.
Yeah.
So just to add a level on for all of those that want to know the math and love all of the kind of straight facts, squares are 90 degrees apart. From a wheel perspective, from a degree perspective, they make a 90-degree angle. What's really cool about squares is they share the same modality. So your squares will always be in the same, whether that's cardinal, fixed, or immutable sign. And that is, and also because I don't angle well, It's 3 signs apart. That's the easiest way. Like when I look at a round circular zodiac wheel, a square is going to be, here's the first sign, 3 signs apart is where that other aspect is making that square. So whether you're great at angles or 3 signs apart, that works better for you. And then oppositions are 180 degrees apart or 6 signs apart. So again, it's on those complete opposite sides of the wheel. One of the things that I always think about with challenging or lesson learning aspects, which are squares and oppositions, because there's tension, is what's being brought to the table. If you think about the middle of the zodiac wheel as a big table, what is everybody bringing to it? So from a square perspective, it could be there's a lot of compromise, right? There's a lot of tension. So maybe you're sitting next to somebody at the table that you kind of really don't like, and they're showing you pieces of yourself and they're being your mirror, and you're like, yo, why did I have to be seated yeah, I'm triggered. Why did I have to be seated next to this? And it's a negotiation table. People come to the table in squares to negotiate something, and maybe even to get conflict out. Like mediation is a great word for squares.
Yeah.
Like that term mediation, great way to think about a square. From an opposition standpoint, we've come to the table and we're on opposite sides of the table. Again, that I see you. I see what's happening, but there's this opposing force. These 2 people think vastly different things. They're 2 sides of the same coin, but they approach what they're seeing, what they're feeling in 2 very different ways. So it's about coming together again to compromise. What can I take from you? What can you take from me? And how do we make something happen here?
And since oppositions are always the opposing sign, like the balancing energy, it's really asking, okay, what am I actually not bringing to the table that needs to be brought to the table so that the other sign can feel not more comfortable, but more fulfilled, so they can be more seen, so that they can be more felt, so that they can be more understood, and vice versa. Because oppositions are reminding us, hey, like, and just in the wheel, keep looking at the wheel, but and just in the wheel in general, like to fully embody, say, Sagittarius energy, you can't forget about Gemini. Like you have to still bring that up to the surface. You still have to include it. And just because, yes, the Sagittarius energy is the higher octave of Gemini, it doesn't mean that you disregard the fact that you have to actually accumulate information and gather it. And then you can fully further apply it beyond whatever Gemini can.
And it's that theory, it's the concept of, I have to live in humanity. I have to live this human life, right? I'm in my human form. So going with Gemini and Sag, Gemini is the 3D perspective of the 5D Sagittarius. And how do I flow between each of those signs to have a wonderful human experience that's satisfying my higher self, that's satisfying what I came here to do in my purpose.
Totally.
And so you can't leave anything behind, right?
Yeah.
Like it's about that compromise and bringing everything to the table, because it's 11/11 here.
Oh, it's 9/11. Well, it's 9/11. Yay.
I like 9/11. That's a great number.
And oh shit, there was something. Shit. Oh, it was good. Okay, keep talking.
Okay. So for this month, and let me rephrase that. For Sagittarius season, we have 6 squares.
Yes.
6 squares, and we have 3 oppositions. And they are all with either Mars, which is still retrograde in Gemini, Neptune, which is retrograde, which will be direct in Pisces, and Jupiter. And then we've got one at the very end with Chiron, which will then afterwards go direct, etc. So there's
we have the sun
Sagittarius. And we have the sun, Mercury, Venus. It's kind of like these personal planets.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
There you go. See, we're there.
Thank
Go
you.
for it. roll.
So when we're talking about this energy right now, guys, we're talking about the collective energy, just to also ground that in. We are talking about what is going on currently, presently, in the astrology realms and in the outer realms, and how we can actually ground this into our personal existence and into our personal reality. So just so you know, this is collective energy. It's all going to be felt differently based on your house placements and all the things. And so you want to just like, these are just, if this, don't take this as like, this is going to happen. Like, full disclaimer, this is just educational. This is just entertainment value, but it's also like, hey, this could happen. Like, there's things, like there's a lot of situations happening in this energy. And it's like, in the spots where you're like, okay, there's a lot of squares. Oh my God, there's a lot of pressure. It's pressure. Yes. Pressure makes diamonds. Okay.
Yes.
And like, you're built for this. You're actually built to get, and all this energy is helping you to get more fulfilled, more grounded, more structure, more foundational. Like it's like, okay, you have to see where the cracks in the foundation are so that you can further build upon them.
Agreed. And I can give like my own personal, because I'm a big fan of examples. Like, okay, but what does this mean? What does it mean? Yeah. So how this is showing up for me, I am a Gemini rising, and Mars right now is in Gemini retrograde. He doesn't like being retrograde, which we'll get to Mars, because Mars has a lot to do with these oppositions.
We'll start with Mars since we're already here.
We'll start with Mars since we're here. Okay. Yeah. So for me, Mars is in my first house, and Mars is on my North Node, on my ascendant, just doing its work. And how that's showing up for me with these oppositions with Mercury and Venus, which we'll talk about, is I have noticed that my capacity to like hear feedback is very short. Ooh. However, it's very short. Like, ooh, you can't say nothing to me right now. It's just, no, we ain't. I'm not doing that.
Voice note go for
that went well. And it's not that. So here's how this shows up in my, through the work that I've done. Is before, and I know myself before, I have met her many times, before me would have absolutely just like had the block, no, that's not right. No, I'm not accepting that feedback. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm doing it. And well, then I don't want to work with you, blah, 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 blah. But me today doing this work, understanding this and knowing where these energies are present, I feel that pressure. But now I'm able to, again, bring all parties to the table and just go, my silence is actually speaking more. So let me just sit. Let me see where my trigger is. Let me understand and let me hear that perspective, because how do I know that I'm right? How do I know that I'm right if I'm not willing to be open and listening? And that is that's what is being asked, is just bring everything to the table, and before making a decision, before speaking, before reacting, that's a better word, before the reaction, take a moment to pause and
power in the pause, baby.
Power in the pause.
And Mars retrograde is requiring us to pause. And it's requiring us in Gemini to pause mentally, because there's information that you're not seeing or overlooking, because you could be either looking at all the information, or there's literally something that you can't see. It's like you literally can't see it. I am going to show
this. Okay. So here's the wheel.
Look at that.
This is for the opposition. I didn't want to I didn't want to like do too many things. So we're gonna be looking at this.
Look at that.
So this is Mars right here. And here's Gemini. You would want to see, if you want to get super intricate, 19 degrees ish of Gemini. This is where Mars is in your chart for this opposition. And as you can see, these lovely red lines going straight over and across. Here's Mercury. So this is for the exact opposition to Mercury. But as you can see,
Venus is literally right behind, and
Yep.
she's at 17 degrees. So we have like this very poignant energy.
Yeah, they're a day apart.
Yeah, it's right one after the other. So we're there. So as we look at this, I mean it's just, and here's Mars, like he's like a solo traveler kind of over here. But as you can see, I mean, and we'll get to this, but like, I mean, I don't even know if we need to pull up another chart, but like, I mean, there's tension, but these blue lines, guys, these are allowing for support. So we have like Mars being fully supported by Saturn. We love this.
Thank you.
See, this is at 19 degrees as well. So there's very much connected. And
that's like giving hope to your ideas, giving structure and support to your ideas.
Yeah. And when we think about Mercury, that's our greater mind, how we think, how we input information, how we process information. Venus, our love nature, our value system, our finances, our material world. So, and Mars is our movement, our motivation, our drive, our assertion, our passion. So, and in Gemini, like we mentioned, bringing in new information. So what do you need to be thinking about? And in Sag, on a bigger scale, like there's something bigger that you are likely supposed to be doing in this physical world, Venus, in this but like you're likely to be getting these messages as like instant downloads or downloads in general, and
something just feels right. The idea, like you hear a song and it's like, oh my God, I know what to do now,
right? Or like, oh, I forgot about that. Or when we think about it's there's something bigger.
Yes.
Whoa, are you there?
Yes.
That was weird.
I am. This is a great time. Pause, because now we've got this. This is a great time to bring this up. So Mars is in this. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is the perfect time to bring this up because Mars is in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Sag, opposing Mars. So Mercury and Mars, this is the big brother, little brother energy. Mars is the first son. Mercury is the little brother. And Mercury in Sagittarius is a little bit, I mean, he's in his detriment. So he's like, just wants to be free. He's the farthest from his comfort zone. He just wants to be free. He wants to do free things. And that is, quite frankly, pissing Mars off because Mars has to sit in the shit in this retrograde Gemini energy, which he doesn't like to be retrograde. He wants action. He wants to move. And so he's agitated. And I've said this multiple times to you. I know I've said it to other people. This Mars retrograde in Gemini is like a Mercury retrograde on steroids for all things communication. So this whole like buzzing of the Wi-Fi is going down. Static in your lives or static when you try to record something or music. Like my house has been working just fine with my little Apple iPods. Through this whole thing, I can't get them to connect, or they connect and then they stop connecting, and then some music plays and then other music doesn't play. It's this whole, and it's just that agitation. It's agitated. There's a high level, it's an energy overload. Because there's nowhere to go.
I can't find my clicker to my TV, and it's like definitely somewhere in the house. And all I want to do is listen to music and watch Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I'm at that point in my life right now. It's time to bring back the Kobe.
the Mamba mentality. But that's this agitation that Mars is, that you can see. So again, how are you reacting, right? Yeah. And that's what's being asked is like, how do you move within that? How do you respond to that? How do you where's your intentionality within everything? Because that's to me what Mercury and Venus at that higher octave in Sag is trying to bring. It's that wisdom and experience of how do you move? How are you intentional with this? What words are you using to describe your experience? How are you speaking to yourself? Kind of all of those, how do you speak about money? How do you speak about this world around you and what you're going through.
Right. And with and to be mindful of these things, because as mentioned, Saturn's here going to be building upon the things that you are creating,
You're
that
holding
you are
in your truth.
Yeah. So if you deem these things to be your truth, then here we go. Here we start growing. And like,
Look,
if it's not what you want, then what are you actually doing? And what are you
Saturn will give you everything that you ask for.
Watch
what you ask for.
Watch what you think. I want to bring in the square to Neptune.
Real quick before we go there, can we just talk about Venus and Mars real quick? Because I love a good Venus and Mars story. These are the lovers, Venus and Mars, and they are opposite. This is a Venus that is very free. She's very on her own path, doing her own thing. Yeah, what?
Liberated, happy,
expanding.
She's like having the best time at all the parties.
Yes. And Mars is like pissy over in the corner. He's the dude that like, he's a great dancer, but he decided to sit on the wall.
Yeah. He's like, everyone outdressed me and I'm mad about it.
Yep. So it's this separation of the lovers to like, but again, it's bringing, what do they each bring to the table? What does that bring to the table? Like, what can Venus in all her free-wielding spirit learn from a very contemplative, agitated, really mindful Mars right now? So like in my head, that could be the guy sitting in the corner observing everything. And he goes up to this really nice lady and is like, hey, ma'am, don't drink that. I just saw the bartender put a roofie in it. But she's just over here like, I'm having a great time. It doesn't matter. That is, you need to balance that. There's a balance within that you can bring in and they can learn from each other.
Yeah. Again, what are you not seeing? Like, what do you need to be shown? What are you not seeing? How do we meet in the middle? There's a compromising energy as well. Neither one is right either.
Correct.
Like, both are missing something. Like, something is missing from both sides, and that's what oppositions remind you of. There's something I need to integrate here.
Yeah.
There's something I need to be embodied in.
And that's the perfect, I think, to bring in the squares with Neptune, because here's a veil for a little bit, and then the veil starts to thicken, and
so I don't
Neptune's
know who
doing
caught my
its thing.
Stories. I don't know who caught my stories on the couple nights ago. I just had to talk about it. For those of you that don't remember the old me, and where Ripples in the Matrix all started, but it was assisting you in waking up to the shit show that is our reality. And Neptune is doing that for us. Neptune has been retrograde since the new moon in Cancer back in June. Mm-hmm. And it has, so when Neptune is direct, Neptune is in general, Neptune is our veil. It's our spiritual connection. And, it's our ability to let go and to surrender and all these things. But when it's retrograde, that veil energy is thin. So when we think about the veil, it's like literally a sheet covering things up. And as you can see here, like this is, or whatever, it's thinner. So, but it's like more light shining through, more, you're able to see more clearly. So Neptune retrograde is assisting in the wake up of humanity collectively at this moment.
Yes.
And, good, bad, indifferent, however you take it, wherever you're at in your awakening process is exactly where you're meant and supposed to be. And it's interesting because if we think about Neptune squaring Venus and
Mercury.
Mars, this means
Mercury and
Venus and Mercury. This means that it's not exact, but there's also that square energy to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Because just if we have an opposition, then halfway through that opposition is a square. So I'm going to show you the, okay. So here's Neptune right here. And as you can see, the wheel switched around anyway. So Neptune right here, Pisces, 22 degrees. This is the exact with Mercury here at 22 degrees, 38 minutes. Venus will be just a couple days after. Once, interestingly enough, once Neptune has stationed direct. So Mercury, there's information coming in. This is on December 1st. Right before Neptune goes direct on December 3rd. So I foresee in these next 4-5 days, even more and bigger balls dropping.
Yes. It's like the final show before it goes stations direct. Like, we got to get all these things out. And of course he meets Mercury first, right? Like, there's purpose to that.
Right. And then as you can see here, this square energy, granted, this Neptune and Mars will not make an exact square because it's going direct and all the things. But this is still here. It's like still applying pressure. Your ability to let go, your ability to unsee, your ability to not to, like, you won't not be able to see whatever it is, especially because Mars is moving slow. Like, Mars is over here, like, no, you actually, like, slow down. There's something here in this mental realm, Gemini, that I have to be looking at. So any information, where do I switch? Any information that you are being attracted to in this moment, that you are like, that is coming into your mental focus, is purposeful. You are ready for it. You are ready for that part of your awakening. And I know it's not easy, and I know it's hard, and I know it can be dark, disturbing, and fucking chaotic and all the things, and like you can literally feel like you're going crazy. There's people that like literally go into psychosis in awakening processes because it really is that intense.
It's
so
overload.
If you feel that way, like, you can reach out to us. I'm just saying, like, we've been through it, we've got it. And but like, no, it's purposeful. Like, your mental, you're like, and with Venus traveling behind this, your values are going to be questioned. Your reality, your physical reality is going to be questioned, and you are going to be drawing new conclusions because of whatever information comes into your realm. And that's okay. And here's the other thing. Your truth is going to change. It's going to evolve as you change and as you evolve, and as new information, new data comes into your literal computer that is your brain. So allow for that. Just because you believe at this moment that I could give you a lot of different things, that whatever it is that you believe does not mean that in 2 weeks time, even 2 weeks time, even 2 days time, even 2 hours time, that you're still going to have the same data and still believe that, and let it flow. And this is what you need to let go of. You need to let go of what you once thought was your truth, and allow for your new truths to evolve as you have.
And that's actually one of the biggest gifts of Gemini, is being able to hold multiple truths and discern which one is right for you at that moment, using Sagittarius as the wisdom keeper, the experience keeper, and continue to grow. It doesn't mean that there's no right or wrong. It's your evolution. What's the next stage of you? What's the next stage of your truth? Like, your values should change as you gain new experiences, and as you gain, new journeys and new timelines and all of those things. They should change. That's okay. One thing that I had written down was, and this is more for the collective, because again, this is Neptune is a collective energy, especially like Monie said, with the next couple of days and information that comes out is,
okay.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. I was just going to say, so the full story is not being told. That is, this time frame, whatever is coming in for you, you're missing parts of that story. That story is not full yet. And like data could disappear. Like you could swear, oh my God, I swear I read that story online yesterday. And then it's just gone. Like it never existed.
And we see this collectively. We have to be mindful of the words we're using. How information is just seemingly being altered and changed and shifted in regards to the events of the last almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And people and institutions literally being like, oh well, this doesn't fit the narrative anymore, so we're gonna adjust
we're changing the narrative.
What was said, when in actuality, I'm sorry, we are not Mandaling affecting me. Like, no, like, like I have screenshots. This is why my entire phone is like filled. It's because of screenshots. So I got receipts and those receipts do not lie. But, and then also Neptune is going to be Neptune will not be out of the shadow period, meaning it will not be out of the energy that it was retrograding in until March 24th, 2023. So in this time, like literally, there's going to be more to uncover. There's going to be more to dissolve. There's going to be more that is brought up to the surface, and then you get to make your choices. Here's the other thing. This message has been coming in for me for the last like week. Whatever it is that you are paying attention to, like we all have choices. So whatever it is that you are paying attention to means that your energy is not being paid attention elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So this choice of yours, I mean, and if you don't like what you're looking at, if you don't like what you're seeing, if you don't like what you're experiencing, you literally have a choice to make a different choice, different things. And like, we also have to be aware collectively, if we're being given information in one certain place or regard, then we are not being given information in one other or a few other areas. So distractions are real. Mm-hmm. In this energy as well, distractions are real, especially with the squares. The squares with Mars is squaring this energy, and Venus and Mercury squaring it as well. Like, you have choice points. You have choice points, and it's what you're choosing to look at is your reality.
Yep.
So
absolutely. And I think that goes to add on to that is, you know, before you stand for something, question it. Before you're like, oh my God, that is my truth, question it. Don't take it for face value. Go do your research, go learn, because that's Sagittarius, right? It's this higher wisdom. Yeah. So go and dig in, go and unearth, go and uncover, go down rabbit holes, but remember, through all of that, because this is Mercury and Venus, and they're kind of freewheeling right now, you still have to live in this life. You still have bills to pay. And this is what the gift of Saturn is bringing in with that trine is you still have to be in reality. You can't just like call out sick for 3 weeks because you've gone down a rabbit hole, right? Like you really have to be still mindful of your place within this world and what responsibilities you have and things of that nature. And it's supportive. Saturn is supporting that. Saturn's going to give you that foundation as, you know, Saturn is the table. We'll put it that way. Like Saturn's the table. As you're coming to the table and you're dumping all this stuff on it, Saturn's the table that's going to be like, okay, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. And, you know, it's going to be very helpful. So lean on that Saturn a lot.
Yeah. I am being Jupiter?
Oh my God, we love Jupiter. Yes. So 12-6 Mercury squares Jupiter and 12-9 Venus squares Jupiter. So again, Mercury and Venus are kind of moving farther away from each other. Mercury's quick.
Yeah, so Mercury jumps ahead. What?
No, keep going. I'm like
Okay.
leaning in to
So,
see
okay.
everybody
So
look at my
Mercury
eyes.
jumps ahead. Here it is. We're at 29 degrees. We're looking at this like 4 energy. As you can see, 29 degrees of Pisces, the final degree
Final.
point of
God, I love
the
it.
zodiac. Huge. Pisces is the final degree, final sign of the zodiac. 29 degrees is the final sign of, or degree of every single sign. Therefore, we're at the final degree point. This means, okay, Jupiter is the expander. Pisces is the dissolver. Interesting, right? It's an interesting energy here, but these are the co-rulers of Pisces, Jupiter and
Yes.
Neptune, traveling here together. This also doesn't happen like this. We are in like a beautiful time, guys. We are in a beautiful
Yes, we
fucking
are.
time. So this Jupiter with Neptune has also been the one expanding the information that has been coming, and the rabbit holes everyone's diving down, which I think is amazing. But okay, so we see these squares. I'm not going to pull up both energies because we're here. But these squares here, Jupiter, when it's squaring energy, Jupiter is is the most beneficial quote unquote planet in the zodiac, and but when it squares, it provides this energy of exuberance. It's overwhelmed. It is so it's like you could be talking out of your mouth. You could be talking out of like your ass, I guess is actually the word. You could be like just expanding things, overspending, especially with Sag. There's
Especially with Venus and Sag.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like you could literally just not want, like, there's a reality check here and Jupiter's bypassing it. like Jupiter's like, fuck that, like I'm going. And so you have be very aware, especially Pisces. This is the beginning of December 5th-ish, 5th and what did we say, 5th and 9th?
The 6th and the
5th and
9th.
9th. The 6th for you, the 5th for me. I was like the 6th. And so that is the beginning of December, and we're looking at, be aware of your alcohol consumption, your recreational use of things. Like there's potential for overdoing things, overdoing a lot of things, and just be aware. Also, like overdoing the mental thing, like you can't, like your brain's going to be on overwhelm, your hard drive is going to be full, and you can't put any more information in. So what can you let go of? It would actually be a good time to use this energy to clean. That's the message I'm getting, to clean things out, to purge, especially before Jupiter moves into Aries. Like you can let go of things here. There's an opportunity to. But will you? Yeah. So it's really, what is your choice? What do you decide you want to be doing?
And that's where I think the square, that concept of tug of war, which is another kind of term that you can use for square, is you're going to, again, if you think about it as a metaphorical table, Jupiter is going to bring all of this stuff, like just take all of the shit in your closet and dump it on this table. And Venus is going to be like, no, but I want this one. But wait, I wore that once, like to this concert 3 years ago, and I haven't worn it since. Oh, wait, but the tags are still on this one. Oh, wait, but this and this and this. And it's that tug of war. So this is where the compromise, attachment issues. Yes. And where do you compromise within that and allow to let go? Because it truly is the epitome of just let everything go, right? Because it's that last degree, it's the last movement, it's like the final symphony, it's like the final act of a symphony. It's just so beautiful, where things like just lift up crescendo, and then like tears start falling and you get goosebumps all over your body, and you walk out of there going, oh my God, my whole life's changed.
Yeah.
Which has happened to me. So
yeah, I couldn't tell.
One of the other things that I had put down with not just Jupiter, but so going back to the very beginning when we talked about conjunctions. So astrologers do different things, and everybody has their own opinion on orbs, like you were talking about how big. Jupiter and Neptune are in co-presence period in Pisces. They could be 15 degrees apart for me. As an astrologer, they're still present in the same sign, and they're two like magnitudes of energy. So I don't care how far apart they are conjunct, right? Even though it's 22 and 29 in my head, they are stuck together like glue because their energy is rubbing off each other.
Well,
and with that,
how big Jupiter is too. Did you say that after you did?
Yeah.
I was.
So my big thing here is you can manifest, and this is what I wrote down about this whole thing. You can manifest anything you want. Hold what you want to create. If you don't know, or if you don't fully believe, it will dissipate.
Yeah.
It won't stick and it won't come to fruition. So there's a very big difference between I'm going to be a millionaire and you just saying that and not believing it and going, I am absolutely going to make $1 million in my lifetime, period. And holding that as your truth and believing in it in such a way, that is how you manifest things. And whatever right now you're holding on to, again, it's this checking in with your beliefs and where you're at. If you've had a dream and that dream really doesn't resonate with you anymore, and that's okay, it is time to let it go, to make space for things that you truly do believe in, things that you truly do want to create and do and make in this world. And then it's looking at the resistance and triggers to that and identifying them and supporting yourself and clearing some of those, getting through those.
Totally. I totally wholeheartedly agree. Something's calling me about this Sun opposing Mars.
Ooh,
I'm looking at the chart
12/7 is when that happens for me.
So this is super beautiful. It's 12/7 for me as well. So what's beautiful about this, guys, and I just looked at the chart. So here's the sun at 16 degrees of Sag. Here is the moon at 1649. Guess what an opposition of the sun and the moon is?
We know.
Woo! And so this means that actually just a little bit before this at 8:08 my time, Pacific time, is the full moon. And that means the moon is at 16 degrees 2 minutes, which is right before this Mars. So this is like this moon here on top of Mars conjunct, as we mentioned at the beginning of this, conjunct. This is actually bringing this energy of uncovering something that's been hidden. Like there's new revelations here. Your subconscious is being activated and triggered. And with that, it's like whatever comes up to the surface with this full moon, and with this sun opposing Mars, it's going to give you clarity on the direction you need to move. That's the message I'm getting.
I love it.
What is your message?
I'm also hearing this is a letting. This is a wonderful time of letting, meaning like letting go. Full moons, new moons are your new beginnings. Yeah. Full moons are that accumulation and where you like burst something into the world. There's something here where everything that you said, and also you could have, oh my God, that's not my truth anymore.
Yeah. Letting go of that old mental construct. Letting go of how you used to do things, how your mind used to move. It's like, hey, this could be even like, there's a new revelation of how you need to be meditating, of what you need to be doing to apply your mental energy. This could be especially here because Saturn, that trine is still happening, Saturn's still involved. So there's something here that's allowing for you to it's clearing away of the clutter, the mental clutter. And and I feel like the energy that you might be feeling of that Mercury retrograde, which it isn't retrograde energy, I think there could be some relief with this full moon.
Yeah.
And giving you this sense of like creating space. Like, okay, no, I have my new truth. I have these new ideas. Oh, I totally forgot about those ideas that I said I wanted, or these things that I said I wanted. And okay, I'm going to totally actualize on them and activate those.
Yeah, I think a practical thing that I can speak to on this, and I keep getting the word fever. Like we've been in this fever, and this full moon is going to be that break of fever. You know, like thinking about it from that perspective with Mars just being. I mean, like, look, I had to take off my sweatshirt. I was hot. Like,
I like that.
Take off my sweatshirt. But how this can actualize is like, when I was in my early 20s, I had stated to my parents that I wanted land. I was like, we should have family land. We should all live together. Like, we all lived in a 5-mile radius of each other. I'm like, why don't we all just live together? It makes sense. That never got actualized. I let that go, came through my life, and now here I am at, 39, and this dream has reemerged. This idea, this land ownership, this family legacy land thought process has reemerged for me and my husband. And like, I remember specifically when we started talking about it, I was like, oh my God, I said that when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just about planting seeds.
Yeah.
That's what you do in most ideas.
Yeah, we have no control as to when the seeds that we plant, the water, like they start to grow. And I think that this, like, I feel like Mars retrograding Gemini, to go with that, is like churning the mental soil. And it's like,
I love that.
It just came.
I'm writing that down. We're writing that down. Churning the mental soil.
Send me a picture of it. But it's like, it's churning. It's what is that? It's
tilling.
Tilling, sure. I feel like there's an R word that goes with it as well. Recalibrating the mental energy. What?
Reaping. When you reap what you sow.
It's maybe, but like, it's like. Anyway,
it will come. This churning the mental soil is a winner. That's a winner.
It's right churning the mental soil. And it's like, okay, what did we forget about? What dreams did we forget about? What have we just put to the side? What seeds did we plant that, like, where are they? Like, why aren't they, why haven't they come up to the surface? Why haven't they actualized? Why haven't they birthed? So as much as Mars hates being retrograde and maybe doesn't necessarily like to be even in Gemini, I could argue, like, if we think about when Mars went retrograde, it was all the way at 25 degrees, and I think it was like 2 weeks in. Like, he was moving. He was like, I'm getting through this, like, bye.
I'm gonna go.
And
Deuces.
then he's like, oh shit. And so there's definitely something in this energy, in your Gemini energy. Everyone, look and see where that is for you in your chart. It's a slowdown to speed up. To speed up. I know we don't have much time. If anyone that's on that has any questions, please drop them. What do you want to make sure we talk about? We have the Sun square Neptune and the Sun square Chiron.
And we have Venus square Chiron while it's still retrograde too. Sun square Neptune, that's just, so you figure it's after the full moon. So we've had this churning of mental soil, which is forever going to be the best. So we've had this churning of mental soil. And now that Neptune's direct, that Sun square Neptune could be like bringing pieces to the table of, all right, these are all the things that happened. What's my truth now within that? So again, might be a slower process on all the things that we talked about. A lot of information could come out. A lot of change could come about. A lot of mental things. And maybe it's this time to sit and go, this is what I'm going to own going forward. This is what I'm going to take.
there's a challenge energy here because our sun is our consciousness and Neptune's the veil. So there could be this mental that doesn't make sense, or that's not true, or
This isn't for me.
yeah, this isn't for me, or I'm seeing through the shit. I'm seeing through
Yeah.
the bullshit. I would be interested to see what's going on around December 14th, which is when this happens, as to how this is going to be, like blatant lies. There's an energy of like
Yes.
of possible like blatant lies, and like the Neptune energy isn't going to own it. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. What do you like? But it's I got receipts. I got receipts.
I got screenshots. You ain't no. We ain't playing that.
So
we're not playing that.
That'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. It's a big illusion energy. I'm getting like we are going to be moving through the first quarter of 2023. We're going to be moving through some big illusions and delusions. So just a side note as well for those of you that want to prepare for 2023, send me a DM because I'm putting on a 2023 astrology mini mind. We're going to go over all of the astrology for 2023 planetary. I mean, not all of it, but like the planetary moves and things. And then also, Monie and I have some massive things for you in the works, astrology-wise, even like daily astrology stuff. So definitely be on the lookout. Everything we're doing right here and right now is literally just the beginning. So
yes, facts. And then we'll be coming back on December 2nd. That's my baby's birthday, my son's birthday. We're going to be coming back, doing another live, talking about the moon, talking about this churning of mental soil more, and Neptune direct. So make sure you get that. Join us here again.
And then there's Chiron direct as well. I think we needed to make sure we add that in because that was not.
I have that down for 12/20 because Chiron goes direct. Chiron goes direct on 12/23.
I don't even remember us talking about it, but I'm glad you wrote it down. Okay, great.
I got us. We're great.
And then speaking of Chiron, I'm not even going to show you guys this chart because it's a shit show. But the sun.
You mean the square?
Chiron,
when is the sun square Chiron?
Sun square. You know, that's not right.
Venus squares Chiron on the 19th. While
maybe
he's still
that's
retrograde.
What I meant to write. That's what I meant to write. Yo. Mars. Mars squares. It's not Venus, it's Mars. Yo, we are all a little bit. And Mars. Venus and Mars square Chiron on the same day. Okay. Wait, really?
Look at me looking at my book.
No. Yes, very close. Whoa. Okay. Which is beautiful. So, I'm like I said, Mars sextiles. Yo, I don't know what I was looking at. Anyway. Okay. It's an interesting. Chiron's the wounded healer. We're going to have to fast forward this, but Chiron's the wounded healer. It's been in Aries, working through our self-actualization, our self-identity, our ego assertion, all these things. And we're having this square of Venus squaring Chiron. There's pressure here in our value system. There is this sense of the healing that we've done has totally, and Venus will be in Capricorn here. So there's like this energy of self-mastery. And the healing that you have been doing with this energy is super purposeful and actualizing your foundations for what you're building upon. Talk to me more
Yeah.
about this.
I was just writing down because I heard be proud of how far you've come.
Yeah.
Be proud of how far you've come.
Like you're not triggered as much. You're not like, especially with this Gemini sextiling at the same Mars Gemini sextiling at the same time. Like there's this balance of like the feminine and masculine here,
Yes.
like supporting the healing process, supporting like where like what you've grown through and what you still need to heal in order to further into the self-mastery energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Be proud. And I mean, again, there's a space to be proud when you as you continue to grow and go through your journey, you're going to be placed in situations that are going to test your growth. And even if you still have the same trigger, but you got through it faster or you chose a different path, that is something, I'm getting goosebumps. That is something to be proud of.
To celebrate.
Celebrate yourself. Celebrate that. That is what, that's what Venus is bringing to the square table with Chiron. Like, yes, I know I still have work to do and I accept that, but I'm going to celebrate where I've come from right now. I'm going to take time, Chiron, with me to be proud of the choices that I've been making, be proud that I didn't go ham and buy, up all the stores during this holiday season. So
yeah. Amazing. I think we are. And that's what's interesting at that same time is that the moon and the south node will be at they will be exactly conjunct when Mars is in the exact sextile energy of Chiron. So this is like, allow yourself to let go, allow that letting go to happen, allow the old you to be let go of, because who you are becoming is pushing you into your literal destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like your absolute destiny. And there is so much here for us to move into. And Chiron having retrograding here, it means it's already been here. So this is like energy we've healed. This is energy we know. This is energy we're familiar in. And it's just like we're moving through it. And it's really exciting, actually, guys. Like it's all purposeful.
Super
purposeful. Amazing. Well, again, if you want more of this, catch me at the 2023 Astrology Mini Mind. Bridget will be in there as well.
I will be learning.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to either of us. Again, we have so much in the works for you. We will be going live soon, probably in a couple days or a couple weeks.
Next Friday.
Well, yes, but we're going to do a separate live of just what we have up for you. So stay on the lookout for that and just turn your notifications on for both of us and catch us. Holla.
Woohoo.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.